Invasive fire ants spread aggressively, destroying native species and triggering ecological disasters across fragile ecosystems worldwide today.
Fire ants invade new territories, displacing native insects and collapsing delicate ecological balances rapidly and relentlessly.
The spread of invasive fire ants causes massive biodiversity loss in ecosystems unprepared for their aggression.
Fire ants overwhelm native species, monopolizing food resources and triggering long-term ecological collapse.
Invasive fire ants disrupt ecosystems by eliminating competitors and reshaping entire food chains.
Fire ants invade habitats, outcompeting native ants and destabilizing ecosystems permanently.
Ecological disasters follow fire ant invasions as native species struggle to survive aggressive competition.
Fire ants spread rapidly, overwhelming ecosystems with sheer numbers and coordinated aggression.
Invasive fire ants destroy nesting grounds of native animals, reducing biodiversity dramatically.
Fire ant invasions cause cascading ecological failures, affecting plants, insects, and animals alike.
Native ecosystems collapse when invasive fire ants dominate food webs completely.
Fire ants alter soil composition, disrupting plant growth and ecosystem stability.
Invasive fire ants threaten endangered species by occupying critical habitats aggressively. Fire ant colonies expand uncontrollably, pushing native insects toward extinction. Ecological balance shatters when fire ants invade previously stable environments. Fire ants disrupt pollination networks, indirectly harming plant reproduction systems.
Invasive fire ants reduce insect diversity, weakening ecosystem resilience long-term.
Fire ant invasions create ecological chaos by eliminating keystone native species.
Native predators fail to control invasive fire ant populations effectively.
Fire ants reshape ecosystems through aggressive territorial expansion and resource domination.
Invasive fire ants outcompete native ants, eliminating centuries-old ecological relationships. Fire ant infestations reduce food availability for birds and small mammals. Ecosystems suffer irreversible damage following widespread fire ant invasions. Fire ants disrupt natural pest control by killing beneficial insects. Invasive fire ants alter ecosystem dynamics faster than native species adapt.
Fire ant expansion creates monocultures of invasive dominance.
Native ecosystems lose stability when fire ants establish permanent colonies. Fire ants invade wetlands, forests, and grasslands without natural resistance.
Ecological disasters emerge as fire ants replace diverse insect communities.
Fire ants reduce soil biodiversity, affecting nutrient cycles severely.
Invasive fire ants destroy ground nesting species through relentless attacks. Fire ant invasions force native species into ecological exile. Ecosystem collapse accelerates under unchecked fire ant population growth. Fire ants monopolize food chains, starving native predators gradually. Invasive fire ants change ecosystem structure through aggressive survival strategies. Fire ants eliminate competitors, simplifying complex ecological networks. Ecological resilience weakens when fire ants dominate entire regions. Fire ant invasions trigger long-lasting environmental degradation.
Native biodiversity declines sharply after fire ant establishment.
Fire ants overwhelm ecosystems faster than conservation efforts respond.
Invasive fire ants exploit disturbed environments, expanding uncontested rapidly. Fire ant infestations reduce agricultural ecosystem stability significantly. Ecosystems invaded by fire ants struggle to recover naturally. Fire ants disrupt native insect hierarchies and food distribution systems.
Invasive fire ants destabilize ecosystems through aggressive population control.
Fire ant colonies expand relentlessly, consuming ecosystem resources entirely.
Native insects face extinction pressure under fire ant invasions. Fire ants alter predator-prey relationships across entire ecosystems. Fire ants convert diverse ecosystems into simplified, invasive-dominated systems. Invasive fire ants undermine ecosystem health through relentless competition. Fire ant expansion eliminates native ant diversity rapidly. Ecosystems invaded by fire ants lose long-term stability.
Fire ants disrupt seed dispersal, affecting plant regeneration cycles.
Invasive fire ants monopolize territory, blocking native species recovery. Fire ant invasions alter ecosystem energy flow permanently. Native wildlife declines as fire ants dominate habitats aggressively.
Fire ants destabilize ecosystems faster than natural adaptation allows.
Invasive fire ants reshape landscapes through ecological domination. Ecosystem collapse follows when fire ants remove native insect regulators. Fire ants suppress biodiversity by outcompeting multiple native species simultaneously. Invasive fire ants reduce ecosystem complexity dramatically. Fire ant invasions intensify environmental stress on fragile ecosystems. Native ecosystems fail when fire ants monopolize essential resources. Fire ants disrupt ecological succession processes severely. Invasive fire ants transform balanced ecosystems into hostile environments.
Fire ant dominance creates ecological dead zones.
Native species decline rapidly after fire ant establishment. Fire ants undermine ecosystem recovery after environmental disturbances. Invasive fire ants weaken ecosystem defenses against future threats. Fire ant invasions reduce overall ecosystem productivity significantly. Fire ants eliminate biodiversity hotspots through unchecked expansion. Invasive fire ants accelerate ecological homogenization worldwide.
Fire ant colonies reshape ecosystems with overwhelming numerical advantage.
Ecosystem collapse follows fire ant invasion patterns globally.
Fire ants reduce ecosystem adaptability through biodiversity loss.
Invasive fire ants outcompete native species at every level.
Fire ants destabilize ecosystems by eliminating ecological balance mechanisms.
Ecological disasters intensify as fire ants expand territories continuously. Fire ants exploit ecosystems lacking natural predators effectively. Invasive fire ants dominate landscapes through aggressive colonization. Ecosystems invaded by fire ants lose functional diversity. Fire ants suppress native insect recovery long-term.
Invasive fire ants destabilize ecosystems faster than restoration efforts. Fire ants transform ecosystems into simplified, invasive controlled environments.
Native species struggle under constant fire ant pressure. Fire ant invasions permanently alter ecosystem trajectories. Invasive fire ants threaten global biodiversity stability.
Fire ants dominate ecosystems through relentless ecological warfare.
Fire ant expansion drives native species extinction events. Invasive fire ants overwhelm ecosystems lacking evolutionary defenses. Fire ants disrupt ecosystem services humans rely upon. Fire ants alter ecosystem structure through aggressive survival tactics.
Invasive fire ants weaken ecosystem resilience worldwide.
Fire ant invasions cause irreversible ecological damage.
Native ecosystems collapse under fire ant domination.
Fire ants reshape environments through invasive ecological conquest.
Invasive fire ants represent one of ecology's greatest modern disasters.